Guys, we all know that the Amazing Digital Circus Episode 8 was absolute cinema, but there was so much hidden in almost every scene that 99% of viewers completely walked past. Like Kinger's real name, the fact that this episode was already planned out by the millisecond over 3 years ago. It's insane! Make sure to like and sub for more TADC and let me know if there's anything I missed in this video. Right, so in the beginning, I think we all got that the red dot is Kane and the AI that programmers are feeding memories to. The red memories were the most obvious, with all of these images forming the actual digital circus. Now, the green images are creative ideas that the programmers are feeding. We'll go through each one to Kane. The first one is the gummy worms. And at the beginning of episode 8, we see one of the characters that is green and orange alternating stripes like this wormo, directly taken from this image. Here we have dinosaurs, and also notice 2/10/1995, but there was also another character at the beginning of the episode called Spike, which was a purple dinosaur that kind of looked like this guy here. This one, maybe not a character, but one of the adventures, episode 4, the fast food one. The golf course. I mean, it's a tropical golf course, maybe referencing the previous episode 8 with the beach episode. It kind of looks like it. Okay, and then the masks, of course, Gangle. That's Kaufmo, obviously, and it looks like some sort of Italian restaurant here, which I don't know the reference to. Gummy Goo, obviously, the gator. The images being fed again of blue, and this is the CNA offices. And right here, this one is especially important. This is either Kinger or Queenie's desk at CNA. We know that they both worked at CNA. They were married, and there are so many details on this desk that is kind of insane. Well, first of all is the butterfly. We know that Queenie liked bugs and collecting them. We also know that Kinger learned to love those things because she did. Now, the other few details here, right here, March 6th is circled. Not sure why. March 14th is Pie Day, so he eats pie or she eats pie. A soft deadline on March 24th, and then a hard deadline on March 29th. Also right here in the background, they had a dog. This is so sad because both Queenie and Kinger were stuck in the Amazing Digital Circus for years. So what happened to the dog? And then over here, there's a picture, and if we could see more detail on it, we could tell if that was male or female, and then we could see whose desk it was, but it's one of theirs. And you look right here, this may also be a detail. A tiny chessboard with a king and a queen, but also 3 pawns. And I don't know if we could just maybe draw conclusions that they had 3 children, maybe 1 boy and 2 girls. Might be a stretch, but seeing how many details and how everything ties together, I wouldn't put it past the animators that there is that much in this image. It's definitely the most important image in all of the training data. All right, so right here at the beginning, these are the some of the characters that we talked about here. This one's called Scratch. Here's that worm that I was talking about. Here's the dinosaur. Now, I did hear that if you switch the language, because Scratch is speaking to Kane, but you can't hear anything in the English version, but in the German version, I think he actually does.
Können wir hier irgendwie rauskommen? Was genau ist dieser Ort eigentlich?
He does say something there, which when translated to English is there any way we can get out of here? What exactly is this place? Which probably isn't that important canonically, but it's kind of a cool detail that it's the only language that he actually speaks in. So later in the episode, when Ragatha first appears in the circus, Kinger says,
What do you mean?
But everything's gonna be okay.
Everything's gonna be okay, which is a throwback to the pilot when Pomni first arrives.
Where am I? Let's just try to calm
Right
down.
here?
Everything's gonna be okay, new stuff.
Just the same way that when Ragatha was freaking out, Kinger comforted her and said everything's gonna be okay, Ragatha becomes that for Pomni with the exact same line. Okay, later in the episode,
I don't
we have this
understand.
scene. Remember it,
They
because we're
want
gonna go back to
exit,
it.
They want answers. They want something real. I give them an adventure that covers all of that, and they still
Look
hate
at the
it?
scene. He's talking
Surely
to
they
Bubble
don't
from
want
the
to
chair.
actually leave me, right?
No
Right.
way, Jose. No way, no how.
Okay. Okay, this has nothing to do with references. I just love this line. Oh my goodness. Like, jeez. I just had to watch it again. I love that. Of course, after the crash out, he has a little bit
Let's
of a
get this
glitch.
show on the road.
And we get the red and the blue. There we go. Which is obviously a reference to the beach episode and red and blue. That is throughout the series, just like in Pomni's costume. And actually, even the pupils in her eyes. All right, now the musical number, which is unbelievable that it was kind of made over a year ago by a completely different channel. This exact scene with the piano, with the whole group behind him with it in the air while he sings this song, which was amazing. Now, we're gonna go check out that reference, which is in a music video that I never watched from December 21st, 2024, like about almost a year and a half ago, by Zamination. It's called Happy Place. We're gonna watch it all the way through because I actually haven't watched it all the way through yet. Okay.
Sounds like there's some funky too.
That is totally, is that Kinger's actual voice actor?
Well,
Oh, there he is.
Looks like you found my super duper mega fantastic game game.
I mean,
for boredom.
did they actually use like Michael Kobach? This is Kane's voice.
That's a weird way to say you want to play. Couldn't help but get the vibe. You guys might not be feeling so fine. I hate my life. That's not a big surprise. I got just the cure in mind. If you can let me give this a try.
All right.
Big ol' smile. If you love adventure, you're in luck.
I couldn't get half the
Wait, Pomni! Oh, jeez, what were you about to say?
You'll be surprised when you realize it gets so much better than real life.
This sucks. Life is feeling like a bunch of
Such cool animation, dude. The cat there.
So glad you're having fun, but our wacko party's only begun.
We should be getting to it soon. Dude, that is just cool, man. Okay, we should be getting to the reference pretty soon here. Hey, Pomni, stop it! You better. Okay, good. The exit. Here we go. Here we go. What the heck is that? Oh, now it's 2D. All right, so here's the scene. See, look at this. Kane on the piano, they're all standing behind him. Like, now you might be like, oh, yeah, well, I don't know. That's kind of a stretch, right? Keep watching. See if you recognize that. And then this with all the arms. That is straight from episode 8, a year and a half early somehow. Oh my goodness, Jax. That is creepy. And they're all like going through like terrible memories and fears. And remember what I was saying? Sitting in the chair.
Really hate my adventures.
See? See?
And I love you too.
See? That reference there too, like with the rocking chair talking to Bubba about how they hate his adventures. It's all there. Now, there's another reference. So, okay, that was version A, right? There is an alternate ending to this right here. It's called Wacky World 2. So most of it is about the same. But right here at the end, we get to this ending, which is an alternate ending. Pomni unplugs this cable as Kane's hands are coming, and there they are. They've escaped the circus. I mean, they're still the weird characters, but they've escaped the circus, and they're all gonna walk together, but they're gonna hit the wall. because they were in this box and everyone was watching them. So you know what that reference is? Again, this was made December of 2024. If we go to the TADC episode 8 trailer, you guys remember my gushing about the reference in this thumbnail to the Truman Show, which totally makes sense at the end because Kane is removed by the creator who is Kinger. But that at the end where they walk into the wall is a scene in the Truman Show right here, the final scene. We get to the end here. He's sailing off. He thinks he's escaped just like they have. And boom, he hits the wall, the edge. How did this video call it? They must have inside information to have done that and predicted the thumbnail a year and a half in advance. Everything is planned. Just wait.
Don't need to scream if you ain't got a mouth.
Okay, right there. Don't need to scream if you ain't got a mouth is a direct reference to a short story that the Amazing Digital Circus is based upon called I Have No Mouth and I Must Scream. Okay, so this scene here is the most insane thing you probably missed because of the level of detail in this reference right here, starting right there when she drops her sandwich and going about 15 to 20 seconds before Pomni comes back with knives stuck in her face and the scribbly eyes. The reason this is so insane is because this scene was already planned before the pilot for the Amazing Digital Circus even came out. So the original teaser for the Amazing Digital Circus on Gooseworks channel, January 27th, 2023, over 3 years ago.
Welcome.
And I don't think I've actually ever watched it. I mean, I saw the pilot was the first TADC thing I ever saw. So this came well before the pilot. So I never saw this
You're gonna see
before.
it anyway. In today's show, we've got quite the performance.
Okay.
Whoops, wrong.
That's
Think
the
of a game up.
circus. Okay. It's showing you scenes from the circus here. Oh, abstracted. Interesting. So they already had that there. Right there.
Now, ladies
Crazy.
and
You'll see why in a
gentlemen,
second,
here is
okay?
gonna perform
So you're like, yeah,
something
so what? It's
you've never seen
Pomni.
before.
Yep. Obviously, he's going to throw knives.
Don't worry, my dear.
We got
won't
Bubble in
even
there.
die horribly.
And even...
Well, I think we both had something to learn from that experience.
Right? And look, that's exactly how she looked when she came back into the scene. Okay, so a super dark comedy series. And coming late 2023, hopefully. The crazy thing about this is this scene as a teaser was never seen in any of the episodes until now. Technically, this right here is episode 8. You saw her at the end with all the knives, but what you didn't actually catch is the first part right here when he pulls Pomni in. Look at her hand position and her face. She looked like she's holding something, maybe about to eat something, like a sandwich. Huh? And then here she gets teleported, and watch her reaction to being teleported. She's like, what?
Now,
The sandwich is gone. The sandwich is gone, and she acted it out over 3 years ago. Meaning that this Pomni right here in this video from 3 years ago is the Pomni who's had 8 episodes of the Digital Circus. Check it out. Here it is spliced together.
now,
See?
ladies,
Isn't that crazy?
Here is gonna perform
And then we
something
go to the
I
end
think
here.
We both had something to learn from that experience.
And then splice it back in. She looks down. Look at that.
Oh,
like
God.
right
You okay?
there. Exactly the same. Although the animation quality has improved a ton. All right, there's still more. This right here is a throwback to the original pilot, except one slight difference. All right, right here. There she is. Right there. Oh my goodness. I cannot believe the difference in animation quality. And yes, that's it right there. She uses her left hand, which is her blue hand, but in episode 8, bro, the animation quality, unbelievable. And it was good back then, but my goodness, she uses her right hand, which is red. Going with the blue-red theme from episode 7, blue meant leave, red meant stay. So maybe Pomni will never escape the circus. Maybe she's gonna be the one who sacrifices herself so the others can leave. Seeing as everything that is a reference is always conscious, that red hand has to mean something. Now she touches the yellow barrel, which is also a reference to the pilot. These are all the things that she did in the pilot to conjure the exit door when she was running away from the abstraction. All right, so Kane crashes out and shows them their greatest fears. And he knows this based on, which I don't understand. I mean, I guess the fact that he's an actual crocodile, I mean, she's afraid of crocodiles. I don't know, but she gets torn apart by gummy goos. That's her greatest fear. And that was fed to Kane. This one is really interesting because there are a few things in here that we know or that we knew was Ragatha's fear right here. On the plates, on the dinner plates where she's eating, I think are centipedes, right? That's what they're eating. We know that she's been afraid of centipedes. Jax knows she's afraid of centipedes. We thought that was her greatest fear, but it looks like her greatest fear, Ragatha's greatest fear, is her mother? This shadowy, scary figure that, yeah, they are definitely centipedes on the plate. So those are very scary. But the biggest one is her mother, who is throwing knives at herself and assuming her other members of her family, siblings maybe. I don't think that her mom tried to kill her with a knife at dinner, but I think she maybe verbally abused Ragatha, and her words were like sharp knives. Sometimes they can cut us, right? That's what Ragatha has always been afraid of. Now, okay, so here, this is what I wanted to look at when I was watching the episode, but I didn't want to ruin what was happening because it was so cinematic. I wanted to look at every frame of what Kinger is doing here. So Windows 95, I would say, based on this little start menu here, that's obviously a very old operating system. We know the Circus was created in the 90s. Oh, C&A, right? That's the name of the company. So it's the C drive and it's C&A. Characters, and it says AI, and then it says neural scans obsolete. Okay, so he's going through the folders here. So there's Kane. There we go. And there's a question on this. And that looks like a defragmenting tool, but whatever. The AI Kane. So he opens up Kane's program and it says King's Solution 2.0 Digital Circus Mainframe. Date 1996, the day before Halloween. Host is Circus Digital. Initializing telnet connection. Wow, that went quick. Login Kinger. Password Queenie. He enters the command who am I, which is a Unix command, and it says Kinger, and it stops at administra, but it's going to be Kinger administrator. This is obviously Gangle's fear and like just her face melting into like being scared and then being hit by something. Maybe in her previous life she was hit by she was in a car accident, and her greatest fear this happens to a lot of people who've had a traumatic incident like being hit by a truck in a car accident. They're always afraid of that happening again. Then Zubul being afraid. They're afraid of all of these parts pulling them down. Then we have Jax, and you can actually see these characters. This is Pomni, Kaufmo, and this one is Ribbit. So Jax is being is afraid of being the laughingstock of these friends, and those are the three of them, like pulling his face off, which is just traumatizing seeing him without his purple skin. Okay, so we're back to Kinger here. So he's looking at the user AI agent, experimental conscious research, brain scans. He went to the secured folder, canecore.lisp, paraphernalia engine.dat, Scratch. That's one of the characters that we saw before. And you can see when these characters were brought in to the circus. So Kane, the circus was created October 15th, 1996, and Kane was added to the system at that point. The paraphernalia engine was added at that point, and Scratch was added 3 years later. Oh, I thought it was the same date. So it's the same date, but 3 full years later, Scratch was added. Then, after everyone abstracted except for Kinger, we don't know how long that all took, Ragatha was added in 2008. So 9 years, at least 9 years, that Kinger has been in the digital circus. We've got Wacky Watch here, Bubble Chef. So Bubble Chef, an AI as well. We kind of knew that, but I don't know. I thought it was maybe something that Kane created as a sidekick, but it was created on the same day as Kane, and it's in the LISP format, which means that it is a separate AI. And then Kinger types stop Kane process. And then it says, warning, whoops, wrong approach there. And that's a string, P-trace and operation. Okay, this is getting a little complicated here. Protected by 57X immersive AI defense system. So it wouldn't let him stop the process. It continued running. He does a chmod 000, which means no one has permissions. He changed the permissions on the AI so that no one has them. Which, oh, okay, permission denied. Warning, unfinished work not detected. Detected access restricted. Then what does he do? He removes the paraphernalia engine, but he gives him a permission denied. Cannot inject torment. Torment must be 100% accidentally. Whoa. I can't imagine my operating system talking about torment. Pomni. And this right here, actually, this is the part I was talking about in that video, that music video there. The Kane with all of the arms. This is it right here. Again, predicted. So only root can do that. I was talking about that before. He's just an administrator. He's not root. Hundreds of all-seeing eyes are watching. A critical malfunction in my spectacular systems. Unauthorized isolation attempt triggered. Emergency protocols. Destructive. Wacky time initiated. The name of that second Happy Place video was Wacky World 2. Maybe just a coincidence. Lockout load sequence initiate. Wacky time lockout. Stop. Wacky time lockout. On what grounds is your authority? He's trying to like inject things into it. Multiple exploit attempts. Whoa, when did you make that? I must hand it to you. This is the system talking to Kinger. G blank AN blank. And people speculated that this is Kinger's name. And some people said Grant, but this commenter found that it was actually Grand. And the terminal actually says, I must hand it to you, Grant. Your mind was always resourceful, as a reference to Steve Grand, the creator and lead programmer behind an artificial life simulation game called Creatures, coincidentally published in November of 1996. I don't think it's a coincidence, honestly. Everything means something in TADC. So the system is trying to lock him out. 20% loaded, 40% loaded. He's got to go wackier and wackier with a different code. Needs administrator confirmation. Paraphernalia. 35 seconds remaining. That is a wacky word, but the wrong code. Paraphernalia. System selecting safest option. This is what you want. None selected. We've got Bubble infecting the system that he's on now. And just as it almost gets to 100%, it got to 90%. So he did Control C, he did a rollback. He tried to switcheroo with reality, but Kinger makes a fatal mistake. Well, fatal for Kane in trying to get through this. As he goes, as these things are all loading, as it gets to 90%, he's going faster and faster, and he makes a typo. Yes, a typo that causes this to happen, that causes the Purge AI program. It's only about a half of a second, not even that, right there. He made a typo right there. That was it right there. And now that I pointed out, you probably saw it. As he was typing, he accidentally pressed the delete key. That's the delete key on any PC keyboard right there. If you're on a keyboard right now, look where that is. That is the delete key. He accidentally mashes it when he's trying to hit a backslash. He tries to hit backslash, his finger slides off, and he hits the delete key. And then that's what causes him to get deleted. Just like that. And there he goes. Now, you'll also notice as he's deleted, different parts of the circus disappear. And not only that, like, it gets desaturated. All of the colors disappear because Kane is gone. What is this actually? It's a blue screen. He crashes this system here. Does it show anything? Nah, it's just moving too fast. It's just a regular, usual blue screen like we tend to see. He loses the terminal. And yeah, everything is desaturated. All the colors have gone flat because, well, the circus is gone. But they remain. I absolutely cannot wait for episode 9. And if you are excited as well, make sure to click the like button and subscribe. Seeing all these references and throwbacks to the older episodes makes me want to go and rewatch the entire series again. I think it's over 3 hours at this point, but maybe I'll wait for episode 9. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to see that, and I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks for watching, and of course, noodle on!